So before we move on to the last slide is actually code in Google Colab. Please don't glaze over your eyes. We are going to walk through this, and I'm going to explain it, and you're not going to regret it, right? So I'm going to share a different screen here. Have you guys explored data sets before, like publicly available data sets before on the internet? Let's say that you are building, okay, Emily has, but let's say that you're building a, I don't know, the example that always is fresh in my mind is the one that we did for schema last semester, not this semester. We're doing COVID-19. We're building an early warning system for pandemic prediction. And we went and we were looking for data on COVID-19, and we found a data set that provides every single country, every single day, number of cases. Like, there was so much data. We broke the platform. There's that, that much detail coming from the United Nations Health something or the other. We'll just take a couple of minutes here and say that there are a plethora of data providers out there. So to my fellow entrepreneurs and founders, and again, Ken, you and I were having a conversation about this today. There's a lot of data that you can use to validate some of we talked about first principles today a bit, right? If you come up with a product idea, instead of building it, you can actually go look at data sets and build a model to predict if your hypothesis is correct or not in your first principles. Because if you go to Kaggle.com is one, you simply sign up. It's free. There's a paid version that gives you access to more stuff or whatever. But Kaggle is a platform that provides not only, I just saw models. I'm sure it provides models as well, like analytical models. It provides data sets across a wide spectrum of industries. And it allows you if you're logged in, etc., you can download that data set and you can explore. You can use that data set. It's a free, like what do they call it? An open source, a GNU license, I believe. So you can use that data set for your modeling, etc. Check the terms and conditions. If you end up looking at a data set that you're going to start using, for a commercial gain, you might have to pay something. But this is just one example. If you just do a Google search or a large language model search on open data sets, you're just going to find, a ton of these. The other interesting thing that you can find, in addition to Kaggle, this is good to know, Data.gov gives you government data about so many different topics, because the U.S. government, by constitution, at least for the time being, by constitution, the U.S. government has to publish information about constituents and states and legislation and blah, blah, blah. And, you can actually grab that data set as well. And I'd say this, I'm trying to remember when this trend started, because I was working with the smart city of Dubai, and we were building the data platform, and it was all about building data sets to not facilitate, kind of like accelerate commerce by giving small businesses and entrepreneurs access to data about the city so that they can use it in their modeling, in their prediction models, etc., to start creating new products and services for the city. So there's a lot of good vibes around, nothing sensitive, of course, but we're just saying, like, giving data about traffic patterns, about population, pandemics, things like that, because then you can download that data set, and then in that cycle that I showed you, you can start doing data preparation, data processing, and things like that to be able to build your models and do the prediction. So there's Kaggle, dataset search, pre-public data sets for analysis from Tableau. No, there's a lot of very, very specific data, Ken. If you look at this Kaggle, for example, I can come in here and let's say, for example, pharmaceutical, pharmaceutical, right? Pharmaceuticals sales in USA, for example, and then it gives you, it will give you what is available for that particular topic. Another one was, for example, retail, and you could be very specific, like you could say sporting goods retail, and it will show you what data sets are available for sporting goods, right? Retail, shopping mall, social shopping, sporting goods, predicting startups. I'm trying to think if these are models. You look like. So once you do the search, if you click on data sets, it will show you what's available. Wholesale and retail orders data sets. It was 2 years ago by this person. Online sporting goods retailer selling thousands of different products. It has 3,138 downloads. Amazon Global Store US from Saudi Souk, whatever, so you could say like, and again, not a great topic, but cancer patients. And you could look at 390 data sets, cancer patient data by Rishi, data from numerous cancer patients, 20,000 downloads 5 years ago, breast cancer patients, MRIs, mental health insights, blah, blah, blah. And you can see this just kind of goes on. So it's really going to be about what is your interest, what's your area of that you're interested in pursuing. And for the sake of our exercise, I'm going to show you mall customer data. And we're just going to do a Google Sheet. Actually, I'm just going to upload the model that we're going to use. This is a generic, well-known data set. Most large language models work with it and know it. And I'm just going to open it so you can take a look at it. It has a customer ID, the gender, the age, their annual income, and a spending score. So if you take a look at the idea here is that this is, again, very simplistic, right? But the idea here is that this data set, it's classifying, not classifying, it's labeling customers. This is the customer ID, the gender, the age, their annual income, and they're labeling it to say, we're on a score of 1 to 100, we are giving this a 39. We're giving this customer an 81. They're a male, 21, $15,000. Their spending score is 81. This is labeled data based on real spending patterns, right? So, and I think if you go back to the second slide where we're talking about, you take data with outputs, labeled data, and you give it to a training algorithm, then you get an algorithm. What we want to do now is use linear regression so that I can start predicting spending scores for a new customer. Now, why would this be important? I mean, and for those of you that have not worked in retail or lending or banking or whatever, because if I can find a high income and a high spender, we better give them a credit card and a big credit line, right? With a big credit balance or whatever it is, a credit line, right? And because then they have a high income and they have the attributes, based on me feeding them the age, the gender, and the annual income, the score, based on what the score is, if it's over a certain percentage, and you say, go ahead and issue the credit card and give them a high limit. Because, I know that's simple because you still got to look at, well, how many credit cards do they have? What's their total debt? Blah, blah, blah. But we're getting into details now. We're just trying to focus on the concept itself. Any questions on data sets? Got about 200 records in this data set. And you can just search on it. It's available on Kaggle. Just create a login, and then you can you're able to download it for free. Okay.